for the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. We begin right away with our headlines. At least one person has been killed in the southwest region of the country in an explosion which happened in the early hours of this Monday, November 8, 2021. Due to the late-minute adjustment by the Cameroon Football Federation, the Indomitable Lions will be streaming to Douala for a training camp at the Jupama Stadium before moving to South Africa for their qualification games against Malawi and Cote d'Ivoire on the 13th and the 16th of November 2021. 10 years after the assassination of Muammar Gaddafi, presidential election is slated for December 24, 2021, which is seen as a way of bringing peace in Libya. For now, persons have started depositing their candidatures this Monday, November 8, 2021. Those were our headlines. We will be right back. You are welcome back. We begin the news in the southwest region of the country, where at least one person has been killed in Boya following an explosion in the early hours of this Monday, November 8, 2021. The taxi was trapped with an explosive that trapped part of the screen and inflicted severe injuries on the driver, who gave up the ghost at the moment. We had details with BrigadeAntiSardinard.
The past week has been very sad in the town of legendary hospitality, Boya, chief town of the southwest region of Cameroon. After last week's detonation that led to the loss of lives, another claimed the life of a Boya-based taxi driver, Mr. Fongan Bodle, this Monday, November 8th at about 10 minutes gone past the hour of 5 a.m. Described by the Boya-based inhabitants as another Black Monday, a locally fabricated explosive detonated inside a taxi this Monday at Las Vegas snack bar Moliko Boya, seriously injuring the driver on board. He was immediately rushed to the Solidarity Hospital in Boya, where he gave up the ghost hours later. Forces of law and order immediately rushed to the scene of the explosion to secure the area, as investigations have been opened to determine the cause. However, the Ghost Fighters, a group that claim affiliations to armed separatist groups, has claimed responsibility for the attack, justifying their actions on the failure to respect the traditional Monday sit-home strike imposed by separatist fighters in the Anglophone regions of Northwest and Southwest.
Let's now move to the northwest region of the country, where 39 years anniversary of President Paul Biya has gone down the books of history, and militants of the party in the northwest region has called for the president to stand for the next presidentialship in Cameroon. The call came in as the leader of the permanent delegation of the party, Prime Minister Emeritus Philip Moyang, called on the population to fight for total reconciliation within the party. We have details with Neba Jerome in Bamenda.
I do so swear.
Sworn in as the second president of the Republic of Cameroon on the 6th of November 1982, the 39th anniversary of President Paul Biya in power at the Bamenda Congress Hall over the weekend saw the leader of the permanent delegation of the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement Party for the Northwest region challenging the militants to reconcile within themselves for a better tomorrow.
This is a celebration which is part of a practice we've had in place for years and years. And for us in the Northwest, this is important because, as you know, the Northwest and the Southwest are going through a difficult situation. And that has made celebrations like this one extremely difficult. So for me, this has a tremendous importance, not only for now, but even for the future. Our objective is to send a clear message that this region is in search of peace, and that we are going to obtain peace and that things will return to normal soon.
The 39th anniversary of the head of state of Cameroon is coming at a time where the Northwest region will enter the 5th year in the ongoing conflict. But militants of the party says the president's assertion to power 39 years ago was not a mistake.
Get a secondary school, a technical school, and in the domain of health, so many has been done. So many health infrastructure can be rehabilitated, and the people are living well, thanks to the leadership of our area. And we keep calling for dialogue, and we know that it's only dialogue, and through dialogue we can succeed. We need to sensitize the boys, we need to sensitize whoever, all the parties, they need to know that peace is an absolute necessity.
But some Cameroonian holds that the president has overstayed in power and it is time for him to give way to others.
We are in a democracy, and the constitution says that anybody can be a candidate. The length of time is not set. As long as the population chooses a candidate or elects a candidate president, that is constitutionally correct, and that is a choice which the people of this country make every time President Biya is a candidate.
The celebration also witnessed the presentation of various elected officials of the party during the just-ended reorganization of basic organs. The event was animated by dance groups and a walk to the Bamenda Commercial Avenue.
Still in connection to the 39th anniversary of President Paul Biya, 6th November saw a massive mobilization of CPDM militants and sympathizers of the Leke Center who came together to renew their confidence. And Umeko took part in the colorful ceremony and brought back the following report.
Singing and dancing is the atmosphere reigning among CPDM militants and sympathizers from the 30 subsections in Leke Center as they gather to celebrate and renew their confidence to His Excellency President Paul Biya, November 6, marking 39 years since his rise to the Supreme Magistracy. A historic date worth celebrating. Militants and sympathizers of the ruling party are encouraged to remain steadfast and keep believing in the president.
We are the only reason that we are celebrate the 39 happy birthday to Mr. Paul Biya today is because he's the only person who we give out gas. We are satisfied about his realization. We are celebrating it. The only message that I can say to my militants is that all behind President Paul Biya, because he's the strong man that we have in Cameroon.
While chairing the colorful meeting at Elikefomo ceremonial ground that brought militants and supporters from far and near, the new section president Paul Eko Etoga calls on all to remain one and indivisible behind the president Paul Biya. The meeting ends with a march past to crown the ceremony, a proof of renewed confidence well merited to His Excellency President Paul Biya. The message is clear. Let us take up the challenges to ensure a more united, stable and prosperous Cameroon.
The president of the North Regional Council, Umaru Usmanu, has called on mayors and regional councillors to work in solidarity for the development of the North region. He was speaking during a local meeting in Garwa in the presence of the governor of the North region, Jean Abidi Edi. Bertrand Tuta tells us more in the following report.
The process for drawing up the development plan of the North region is proceeding smoothly in Garwa, chief town of the North region. On convocation of the president of the North Regional Council, the mayors of the various municipalities of the North region and members of the Regional Council are taking part in the drawing exercise. During the meeting, the governor of the North region, Jean Abidi Edi, gave certain instruction to those in charge. The president of the North Regional Council called on all actors to be united in the fight for the development of the region.
To say that we discussed the issue with them, and then we realized that we have the same vision. First of all, the vision of decentralization, and then we do agree that we'll meet each quarter of the years so that we can discuss the issue of this region, and then we see how we can manage the situation of development in the region with them. First of all, infrastructure, roads, and also for energy, electricity, and the others, and then we see agriculture, and then basic needs, so as education or health. Advantage is that, first of all, we can put together our means to know exactly how we can improve the level of the condition of the population. That's the first thing. The second thing, that when we are alone, we can go faster, but when we are together, we can go further. That's the problem.
The mayors of the region did not hide their feelings and pledged to do their work diligently. The authorities of the CDS for the North region reaffirmed in the meeting their solidarity and commitment to accelerate local development as provided for by the Code of Decentralized Territorial Communities.
Back to the northwest region of the country, the mayor of the Bamenda 3 Council, Fongu Ukletu, has invited everyone in his municipality to be part of the upcoming Festival of Heritage, Art and Culture. He was speaking on Sunday, November 7th at the St. Michael's Catholic Parish Church Futrunkwen during a Thanksgiving and sensitization mass. We have details with our Northwest correspondent, Neba Jerome.
Fongu Ukletu during a Thanksgiving mass this Sunday at St. Michael's Parish Futrunkwen disclosed that his council is fully ready to offer quality prices to participants during the Festival of Heritage, Art and Culture.
All we go to stay for Bamenda 3 because the phone of Gwen is Royal Highness for Nasenko in London. So we stay for Gwen begin. So that festival now for all week. I don't see a lot of cultural display for church here. We want to see them for that day for Pentecost Palace. And for 26, 27, and 28 for this month. Please, no afford for miss because we want to.
Prior to this announcement, community leaders made up of quarterhead, women and youth from across Bamenda 3 reaffirmed their commitment to ensure a successful maiden edition of the cultural festival.
Everything is set, the committees are working hard, the thatch houses construction will start from tomorrow, as well as the groups and those to exhibit. Registration is still going on, and we are so far happy with the number of people that have registered so far.
The Forum challenged the community leaders to ensure effective representation of their various quarters during the 3 days event.
It's very, very important for the community because it's going to portray the culture of the people, our custom, our way of life, and it's going to be the center of attraction for people to come and test a bit of our culture. People should come and drink wine, come and eat achu, yellow soup, black soup, come and put up traditional regala like us, come and see how our people behave, how they perform, how they act, how they do this, and to see our location, see the beauty of our town.
He later announced that he will lead the Bamenda 3 Festival of Heritage, Art and Culture Caravan while prescribing the Northwest traditional regalia at Togo throughout the event, as he appealed for a safe ground for education in Kwen. That is just a tip of the iceberg, as the Nkwen Festival of Heritage, Art and Culture will be.
We now move to the West region of the country, where the West Regional Campaign for the National Development Strategy of 2020-2030 has unfolded in Bafoussam in the presence of the West Regional Governor, Awa Fonka Augustine. The delegation from the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development was led by Isaac Tamba. Bertrand Tuta has more in the following report.
In line to promote the National Development Strategy 2020-2030, the delegation from the Ministry of Territorial Administration led by Professor Isaac Tamba met with driving forces in the West region. The meeting in the region was in the presence of the West Regional Governor Awa Fonka Augustine. To achieve emergence set for 2035, the National Development Strategy needs the structural transformation of the economy, the development of human capital, the promotion of employment, governance, decentralization, and the strategic management of the state.
Le gouvernement a adopté l'année dernière une nouvelle stratégie, la stratégie nationale de développement 2020-2030.
We are here to edify the population on the National Development Strategy 2020-2030. The head of department at the Ministry of the Economy, Planning and Regional Development instructed us to deploy ourselves in the 10 regions to inform the general public and invite them to appropriate this strategy. The second objective is to get the different opinions of the living forces in our regions on the implementation mechanism of the strategy.
Discussion in the West region with the delegation from the Ministry of Territorial Administration was held to better understand the strategy.
Here in the West region, we came to present the National Development Strategy 2020-2030 that will lead our country to her emergence. It's the new guidebook of the government in matters of development, especially in the employment strategy that was put in place for the 2010-2019 period.
For the local elected officials, there is still much to do.
This is treating the disease from the roots, giving responsibilities to council agents, program habits in councils, the transfer of competence, financial resources, human resources, material resources, how to mobilize funds, follow-up and evaluation.
Focus is now on the various divisions and subdivisions in the West region to get themselves incorporated into the National Development Strategy 2020.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the 6 p.m. English news over Camdis television. We now move to our health page where, according to statistics published by the World Health Organization, Cameroon has reportedly recorded 905 suspected cases of yellow fever and 13 deaths from January 1st to July 4th, 2021. In the following report, Jan Nenkam gives us the causes and prevention of this epidemic. Her report.
According to statistics published by the Eliminate Yellow Fever Epidemic Global Strategy, Cameroon has been classified among the top 12 African countries with high risk of yellow fever, following the constant yellow fever outbreak from the 90s up to 2013. To address the situation, therefore, the government of Cameroon adopted a 5-year national strategic plan to combat the epidemic, which includes its prevention and rapid detection when it occurs. In a recent statistics published by the World Health Organization, Cameroon has reportedly recorded 905 suspected cases of yellow fever, with 13 deaths from January the 1st to July the 4th, 2021. The yellow fever virus is said to be found in tropical and subtropical areas of Africa and South America. As ways of transmission, it is said to be spread by a bite of an infected mosquito from individual to individual. During the first 3 to 6 days of infection, no signs or symptoms could be noticed, but the acute phase may lead to fever, headache, nausea, vomiting or both, dizziness, red eyes, face or tongue, among others. However, a single dose of the yellow fever vaccine is liable to provide protection for at least 10 years with individual protective measures such as limiting outdoor activities when mosquitoes are most active, said to go a long way to do good to many in risk areas.
Let's now take this cover shot in our sport page. The tournament manager informs the national and international opinion that the launching of a selection of volunteers for the Total Energies AFCON Cameroon 2021 is effective as from this Monday, 8th November 2021. To this effect, potential candidates wishing to apply as volunteers must be a Cameroonian, Cameroonian or foreign nationality and be at least 18 years old. They must fill in the information requested on the application from online at https://cm/volunteers.can. The deadline for the application is 18th November 2021. And on to another sport page. The indomitable lions of Cameroon have begun streaming in the country's economic capital for a training camp ahead of the two crucial qualification games against Malawi and Cote d'Ivoire on the 13th and 16th of November 2021. The training will be held at the Japuma Stadium in Douala, as Isaac Ngonkum tells us more in the following report.
Preparations ahead of the clash between the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Flames of Malawi come Saturday, 13th November 2021 in South Africa have intense at the Mundi Complex this Sunday, 7th November 2021. Among those who have already answered present, the training camp is Simon Omosola, Jean Efala Kongep, Leandre Tawamba Kana, Vincent Abubakar, Christian Basagok, Jean Onana, and Jerome Ongene. The rest of the squad is expected to arrive this Monday for Antonio Conceição and boys to fine-tune strategies on how to quench the Flames of Malawi on Saturday in South Africa before returning to neutralize the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire on the 16th of November 2021, Cote d'Ivoire, where they lost to the Elephants by 1-2 on the 6th of September 2021.
Still in our sport page, the 33rd edition of the Tour de Faso that ran from the 29th of October to the 7th of November 2021 has come to an end with German cyclist Daniel Bischmann winning the yellow jersey. Cameroonian cyclists who took part of the competition were, however, not ridiculed. We have details with Isaac Ngonkum.
The 2021 Burkina Faso International Cycling Tour has come and gone, but Cameroonian cyclists have left their footprints in the sands of time in the competition's history. History will forever remember that Cameroonian-born Arthur Stella won the 9th lap of the Tour, a distance of 128 kilometers from Mangar to Zinyari on Saturday, 6th November 2021. Even if German cyclist Daniel Bischmann won the overall yellow jersey on Sunday, Cameroonians can be proud of the performance of Arthur Stella in particular and Team Cameroon in general. In total, 82 cyclists from 14 teams from Africa and other countries around the world, such as Germany, Switzerland and Holland, traveled for 10 days covering a total of 1,273 kilometers in 10 regions of Burkina Faso. As Cameroonian cyclists return home, therefore, it is hoped that they will continue to work hard in order to win future editions of international cycling tours, be it in Cameroon or elsewhere on the African continent.
Let's now take you out of the country where, as a way of bringing peace in Libya, persons have started depositing their candidatures this Monday, November 8, 2021, for the presidential election slated for December 24th, 2021. Details of this and more in the following international roundup.
Candidates for Libya's presidential and legislative elections slated for December 24th have started registration this Monday. The head of the commission, Imad Al-Sayeh, said on Sunday that the real start of the electoral process is aimed at turning the page on a decade of violence in the North African country. World powers, including France and the United States, are due to hold a November 12th conference in Paris to make a new push to restore stability in Libya before the day of the elections. So far, 5 candidates have publicly announced a run for president, including former Interior Minister Fadi Bashaga. Several demonstrations took place again on Sunday across Morocco to protest against the government anti-COVID vaccine pass. In Rabat, police condoned off the square where an unauthorized rally was to be held in the city center with around 100 demonstrators dispersed. The anti-COVID vaccine pass that was launched on 21st October in Maghreb country enclosed areas including hotels, restaurants, cafes and shops which are now subjected to pass requirements. Nevertheless, an online petition has gathered tens of thousands of signatures criticizing the arbitrary introduction of the health pass. The West African regional grouping ECOWAS on Sunday hardened its stance against military ruled Mali and Guinea, imposing new individual sanctions and calling on both countries to honor timetables for a return to democracy. Mali's junta expelled ECOWAS Special Envoy Hamidou Boli from the country on October 26th, declaring him a persona non grata. As for Guinea, where soldiers seized power on September 5th, ECOWAS decided to uphold the country's suspension from the bloc as well as sanctions against individual junta members and their families. ECOWAS would therefore hold its next summit in December when it will consider more sanctions if situations in these countries persist.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that was it for the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Meet Desiree Trésor Bonnet at exactly 8 p.m. for news in the French language. But until then, do stay tuned in the company of interesting programs over Camdi's television. Have a wonderful night.